Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Stine and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we cannot talk yarn without me having my faithful mug of tea, which today is a lovely classic Earl Grey tea with a flavor of a bergamot. So yeah, it's just one of these comfy teas that I tend to drink in periods. And yeah, I just generally love the taste of this. It's just nice, plain and simple. There's not much more to say about it, to be honest. But what I should say is welcome to everybody today. Welcome to my newest subscribers, and welcome to, of course, all my old subscribers that's been with me from almost more or less the very beginning. I'm very happy for you to tune in, and I do hope that you enjoy whichever content that I do post on this channel. Actually, if you aren't even subscribed yet, do hit that button down there to subscribe. That will definitely help me out. And it's in this way to get to this magic number of 1,000 subscribers. And when I do hit those 1,000 subscribers, I will host an extraordinary giveaway. Last week, I did show the first yarn of this sneak peek that's going to be a part of the giveaway. I do have a second yarn that's going to be a part of this giveaway for this a big party. I will show all of you, the guys, of that yarn a bit later in this video, because of course we need to keep the tension up, maybe at least for those that's curious. There will also be a full giveaway party video for that once this magic number of the 1,000 subscribers has been hit. Yeah, so a few things has happened since last. Some of you might know many things of this, at least if you poked in and saw or have rewatched the live. I went live last night for one of my pop-up lives. As always, I do really much enjoy hanging out with you guys. Those of you that were in the live that's right now watching this yarn talk video, thank you very much for spending your time with me. It was much appreciated and we had a bunch of fun. So the first thing that happened is, as you guys know, I am going into this process of sorting my things. This means sorting my past projects, but as well it means sorting my current yarn, and I need to sort of, I wouldn't say de-stash, that sounds so cruel, but technically it is, yes, I have enough yarn to survive me for a very long time. So I need to get my yarn sorted for various reasons, just because it's not a feasible solution how it's stored right now. And I need to get it more sorted so I actually get a better overview of what I have, etc. And that's a whole process, and there will be a whole series on that in March. But a part of this destashing project is that I created and finished a pair of dragonscale gloves that I showed you. I do believe, did I show them last week? Last week's yarn talk, looking at the date, I think I did. Yes, I believe I did. I showed these dragonscale gloves. I was even asked if I would like to make a tutorial for them. I might make a tutorial for a pair of dragonscale gloves out in the future. I will not make them for exactly this pair, mainly because I feel that I still need to improve a little bit on the pattern. It's not 100% perfect. I get that maybe it shouldn't be perfect, but there is a few things that I think can be done better. So I am gonna continue developing a bit on these. I do have some more yarns, quite similar in the makeup, in the sense of it has the same weight, it has the same yardage, it has also variegated colors, not the same colors, though it does have, I do believe it has some wool in them. But generally is that I want to improve the pattern a bit before making a tutorial and putting it out there. And when that will happen, I cannot promise, but it is definitely something that I want to do. This is a full 100% my make, and these are one of a kind. So I decided on throwing them on the Facebook marketplace, for a local marketplace which covers here for the Netherlands. I put them on and basically said what it was, like one of a kind, dragonscale gloves made from my mind. And that was the price I wanted to have for them, and it took about 1.5 days, maybe 2 days. I think 1.5, almost 2 days. And I had a post that somebody wanted to buy them. So I sold them. I already got the money. What I'm going to do this afternoon is I'm going to wrap them up very nicely, and I am going to put them in the mailbox, or I'm going to mail them tonight. So that's basically what's happened with them. I destashed a skein of yarn, and I even sold the outcome of it. And that, of course, is cash that's going towards either my yarn budget or whatever is going to happen, because life these days are unpredictable in many aspects. So that was my dragonscale gloves, just that you know that they do exist, but they are also getting into new owners. It was not what I think I originally had planned or intended, but I am pretty happy with the outcome, to be honest. So I am also working on my cardigan, which I have worked on since forever. And the cardigan here is the Oasis cardigan, and I am missing just one repeat of the pattern here to have finished the round. And what happened was I was actually ready to almost join a new skein of yarn. This is the yarn that I'm using for it, which is the Drops Baby Merino Mix, which is an absolutely lovely, gorgeous soft yarn. I have 4 more balls of these, and this, obviously, I frocked it. And when I'm getting closer and closer, I am starting to be very much like, I do not think I have enough yarn to complete it all. I'm likely having to buy something else. We talked about that a little bit last Yarn Talk video. I did have some suggestions saying I could make a border in another color, etc. Honestly, I am going to use the yarn I have, and I will take it as it comes once I'm there. That's currently my plan. I might wing it, or obviously it's always a good reason to buy new yarn. I will though have to wait until it's for sale, because I think the prices are always better when it's a bit for sale. And I do know that Drops yarns usually within every so often, every few months or so, they do have a nice sale of this. So in case, I don't mind waiting on this until it goes for sale. It's a fine weight yarn. It's a colorway 22, which is like, I do think it's like baby gray or light gray or something like that. They recommend 3mm needles. I'm using a 3.5mm crochet hook for the project. 50 grams, so 1.75 ounces to 175 meters, so that's 191 yards, and it's 100% superwash merino wool, and it is just very nice and soft, very scarfable, definitely very scarfable. So of course it's going to be a very nice project once I'm done. I'm counting once I've finished this part of the pattern repetition, so it's almost complete in that sense. Then I need to do another, just let me count for a minute, please. I am here, which is there, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. So I have, what did I say just before? I have this plus 4 more rounds to go. The downside is every round I do takes longer time to complete. And what happened this week, earlier this week, I think Wednesday, I figured out, but I've probably been working on it since, I'm unsure if I started on that round last weekend, like on Sunday, when we were at my in-laws, and then I probably didn't pay attention, or if I did it during the week sometime at a meeting at work or something like that. I don't know anymore when I started that round. It doesn't matter. I came to about somewhere, so this is between this stitch marker and this stitch marker. That's a full repeat of the pattern. Somewhere in between this first section of, there are 8 in total around, somewhere between those first section, I had missed to enter the full part of the fan stitch, which is basically just 3 double crochets into one. But if you look at these, you can see there are these sort of fan stitches going up. What I found that I had only made 1 of them, not 2 of them. So I had a pretty big gap. That's not a mistake that you can easily cover up. And henceforth, I frocked a whole round. and I was annoyed. I was very annoyed about that. I got a frock and I'm almost complete and redone that round that I had to frock. But it's just, you know, it's just adding another hour of work kind of to your project, and I'm not the quickest crocheter. But it is what it is. I am still very pleased with how it's generally looking. I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit more, because you have arm gaps, and you know, it keeps works in the round, and it's going to be really, really nice. And the top is going to be like, you know, I have this sort of thing hanging around. So the concept and what I'm working on, let's see, I'm going to show this. This would be the repeat of the pattern, how that looks on a diagram. But then this is kinda the way of working it. And it's a big circle that I'm working on. Then I need to add 2 arms to it. And then I can optionally add extra coverage for the front parts. That section I've undecided on yet. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna add the arms. And then I'll see how much yarn I'm needing, and if those 2 are needed or not. I might stop further than that before then. I'm undecided on that, but that's overall the process of this Oasis cardigan. This is a nice photo of how it's supposed to look when it's being worn, which looks really nice. I'm just wondering if, due to I do have some arms and I do have some shoulder width compared to, I have really small hands compared to the rest though, but I don't know how it's gonna sit on me. We will see. I'm just progressing. What I do know is that I tested width and everything, and I intentionally actually ended up making it around or 2 wider to ensure that I had enough space between the arms so it wouldn't be too tight. But yeah, so I'm still working obviously on this, and it's still some time to go. Once this is done, I will start on a new crazy project from Drops Design. So far, that is my project until I find out if I need more yarn or whichever happens. I am trying to focus a bit on working on it when I'm not doing the other things, because obviously I want to know if I need to order new yarn. If I have to order new yarn, I may have to park it for a month or 2 until the yarn comes on sale. I know it will eventually come on sale. Once it's on sale, if I do need yarn, that's when I'm gonna buy it, and that is probably then gonna be my next yarn haul, I guess, out in the future, except for those 2 last ones that's already planned and recorded that will come out on this channel. So that was my cardigan. Then we have my poncho, and my poncho I am really, really happy about. And I realize I have another project which is not in, well, it is close, but it's not as close as I thought it would be, but that's okay. We are working on my poncho, where I started on adding the cowl. So where I had finished last yarn talk video, I believe, was showing you that this was how far I had gotten with the last round of cake. This is basically side to tip to side of the poncho. And here, up here, we have the top. And as you can see, I'm adding the cowl, and I'm about halfway with the cowl. It's about half done. And the yarn I am using, let's see if I can get it out, is this lovely, absolutely gorgeous cake, which is super soft, from Yarn Art. It's an Flowers alpaca flowers yarn, which is basically the same as the Hobbii Wool of Alpaca. This is also a Hobbie's pattern, and honestly, I really, 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 really just enjoy this poncho so far. And I feel I am gonna be really, really happy with the final result. Gorgeous design. The poncho is designed by Tante Traad. Tante Traad is a Danish designer who designed this, and you know, like, I just really like how it's looking. So once these last 11 rounds has been added to the cowl, Then I will take the center of the cake and continue working on this end so it will get longer. But what I can do is that I can show you guys how far we have gotten if I'm not hanging into my hairpin, which almost works. So I can smell this, smells wool. There's no doubt this is an alpaca blend, but that's all right. So I am just gonna, so this is kind of how it looks right now if we're looking with the front face down first, and I'm gonna get up so you can a bit easier see what's going on here. So that's kind of where we are at. I really enjoy it. So the only thing might be that it's a little bit pointy for what I would maybe like. But it's not bad. Like what I very much like is actually it's nice and warm. And we talked a few times, like if I would turn it around and wear it sideways. Let's see if I can actually get it approximately placed nicely in a sideways manner. Then it's also very nice, but the thought could be to somehow assemble it here, and you could probably use it somehow to make a shirt almost. Maybe that's for a future me design. But what I do like is it's nice and warm. This is really nice and warm. So sideways, that's how it's looking right now, sideways. And in that sense, you can see it's missing quite a bit to go. And when I have added another 11 rows here in the cowl, what you will get is this kind of like folded cowl to help keep you warm up here. So it's definitely a warm poncho, and it's a nice snuggly one. And I'm really looking forward for it being finished, though I do fear that this poncho is a poncho that I will first really be enjoying next winter. But until then, you know, I know it's gonna be ready for next winter. And yeah, that's pretty much it, but it's nice and warm. And I'm pretty happy with the look and visuals of it right now. It's straightforward, following the pattern. It's super easy, very mindless to do. So that pleases me. Then I have 2 more projects that I'm working on, and I just need to find one, and then we can talk about it, because I realized I didn't put it ready here next to me so I could easily show you guys. So give me a moment and I'll be back. So I found the other project that I'm working on. I do see I have a Stine hair in it, so I just removed that. That's my Mosaic Blanket. Right now it's more like just like a granny square size one. Mosaic Blanket. It's working the round. The backside looks like this right now. And I'm keeping working on this one in the round. On going. These are the 2 yarns I'm using. You keep both the yarns attached. And what you basically do is you work one round in one color and the next round in the next color. You work with double and single crochets only, and a single chain stitch here and there. And then basically you continue. So when you overlay it, and it's the Overlay Mosiac, which means that the overlay part of the colors are double crochets. So you work into the loop of the stitch of the previous round, and you make double crochets, and that's basically how you get these overlay colors. If you are going to overlay another color in the following round, for example, you would use single crochets, and you do those in the back loop of the current round. So that's basically how it's made, and that's also why it's looking like it is here on the back side. Until you kind of get the hang of it, then it becomes reasonably simple to do. But it is about keeping track, and my most challenging parts are definitely the corners, because trying to find the right places to put the stitches and so on, that is a little bit still of a challenge for me. But I am succeeding. It's just the corners compared to the straight stretches. They take, let's say, 30% more time for me, focus-wise, to get the stitches in and so on. And then when I have a few corners down, it's kind of like on to the next. But, and the same goes for the first part. So basically the pattern is when you start on it, you basically work a full side, and then that pattern you will repeat on the following side, etc. And the first time you do it, it's just about keeping track and being, okay, this is where the stitches are going, and therefore, and I kind of work out from the center because I know exactly where those stitches are. And then I'm looking back to see where I can find the correct stitches to ensure that I have the right stitch count. So this is really, you need to keep track of your stitches and where the counts are, and basically where the stitches are. But once you have that under control, it's okay, easy to make. It's just something that takes time and it requires focus. It's not a mindless project for when you're sitting on the couch. And for those who can do this as a mindless project when they're sitting on the couch watching TV, I'm impressed. Nothing more to say, basically. For this blanket, I am using the yarn that was recommended by the designer, which is the Stylecraft Special DK. This yarn. This is a premium acrylic yarn, which is 100 grams, so 3.5 ounces, to 295 meters, so that's approximately 322 yards. It's naturally anti-piling and it's good for all DK weight patterns. Wash at 30 degrees, so 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Tumble dry at low. It can cool, like at cool temperature, it can tumble dry. Believe it or not, I had not believed that, but that's nice to know. You can also iron it with low, and you can dry clean it, but do not bleach. And yeah, they recommend 4mm crochet hook. That's also what I'm using for the project. Right now I have the colors of a maroon, kind of burgundy red, and a cream. The cream is gonna be the color that will keep going through the whole pattern all the way through, where the maroon eventually I will change for, I do believe it's a lighter red, and then the colors go out. And I do have more colors coming up for this blanket. But this blanket, I'm accepting the fact that I probably won't finish it this year unless I eventually get some extra time and just want to do this mindlessly. But it's okay. It's my eternity project. It is by Anke Wintermans. Anke Wintermans is a Dutch designer. She's also known as the Crochet Cat Lady. And she makes absolutely gorgeous mosaic patterns. I bought this pattern on Ravelry, and I bought the yarns as a yarn package from Wool Plaza or woolplain.nl, or wool. I do believe it's called Wool Plaza in UK English. But woolplain.nl, which is a Dutch web store that also collaborated with Anke Wintermans on making this package. So I got her pattern from Ravelry, and I got the yarns from the store that she made the collaboration with. So I have a big box of these yarns. I have all the yarns bought already. I just need to follow the pattern. I wrote it nicely down, and I reached another 2 rows since a last yarn talk, so that's not a lot. But any row is basically process, and that's how I'm looking at this project. It's a project I'm just working on when I feel the mood for it. I like how it's looking, and what I have to say is that after the first few rounds I was a little bit like, I'm not sure I'm gonna like this, even though it looks really nice on the photos. Now I'm being like, okay, I'm really starting to actually like it. So if you ever start on Mosaic crochet, my advice is give it a bit of patience and time, and you will see the lovely pattern that it produces, in short. So what I did start on last yarn talk video, and we talked about it, is the JasmineTea Shawl. JasmineTea Shawl is by RedTeapotAtelier. She is making absolutely gorgeous patterns. I've been talking a bit with her because I had the feeling that I was doing this wrong. I started with 3mm crochet hook. I've upsized it, so I am using 3.5mm hook now for this project. I have now finished the first piece of it, so that is the first color. So next step basically is to do a color change. And this is what we have so far. Oops, let's see. Lapis blue is this colorway. This colorway is not, by any chance, these colors I've chosen is not recommended by the pattern. I've chosen colors that I think look really good together and I think could make a beautiful scarf. And I am making this scarf for the Disley Sisterz Creationz Make-Along scarf, which is held from 1st of February until the 30th of April. The requirements are that you are first allowed to start on your project after February 1st, which I did because I first started last week. So I was able to enter. And you don't need to be finished on April 30th. Nice if you are. You don't need to be. And then there's a few other rules. I will see if I can link to that video in the description box down below should you be interested in joining this MAL. And they do actually even have prizes. So there are a few things as a part of this. And I am also happily partaking in it. But I think that it's looking good so far. So as you can see, I have made the first couple of rounds. I'm actually unsure what round I am at. Maybe, I don't know. I should have written that down. But I'm ready to change color. And the color I will change to is, just a moment, is the French blue. So right now I'm working with the lapis blue. What I have is I have this nice bag. This is all the colors that I will be using. This will be the next, and then so on. And that will be the outer edge. I also have a note in here written down the color numbers for each of the following order that I will be using them. And that's basically to help me remember. The next color I will add is this gorgeous blue. And this gorgeous is French blue, and that will be the following that will be added to this section. Progressing well. So far, I feel I should be able to have this one finished before April 30th. Of course, it depends on all my other projects, but yeah. And my poncho is a poncho that's one I'm only working on when I'm either going live on YouTube or watching TV. That's intentionally. Everything else I work on during other periods. But this one, I think is going nice. Right now, my idea was to just add a new color every week. And if I do that, I should definitely be done before then, but maybe I can do more. I have been tempted because I was ready by this the day before yesterday. And I was like, I should do that. And then I had my cardigan that I ended up frocking and so on. But I am looking forward to see this also when it's stretching full, and eventually, of course, I will have to block it. But so far, I'm pretty happy with what's happening, and that is the next color to be added. So I will still have some left of this. Who knows? I can make a new one in the future. So that's for this JasmineTea Shawl. Then it's time to kind of round up this video. At least I should. And before I do that, because I did say once, hit subscribe, hit the like button. Thumbies are really helpful for me, that's supportive. Also, yeah, do subscribe and hit that notification so you're notified. Notifications are good because when I do go live, usually right now, I don't have them scheduled. I do pop-up lives. So yeah, do hit that notification button because then you get notified whenever I go live. The yarns that I will be adding to the giveaway, which is gonna be when I'm doing my 1K, so 1,000 subscribers giveaway, is these lovely yarns from Hobbii. It's the Starlight yarns, and this is in a gray color. It's a colorway 6, and they're 60% wool, 25% polyamide, and 15% polyester. They are 1.75 ounces per skein, which is 50 grams in EU terms, 64 meters to or 70 yards, depending on if you prefer one or the other. They recommend 5mm needles, 5mm knitting needles, or 5.5 to 6mm crochet hooks, medium weight, so it's a 4 weight, and I would probably, yes, it's a 4 weight. And they say wash at 40 degrees, 104 Fahrenheit, don't iron, don't tumble dry, don't bleach, lay flat to dry, maybe dry cleaned. It's designed by Hobbii in Denmark and it's produced in Turkey with love. I only have these 2 skeins. As said, it's a part of destashing some of my storage. These 2 skeins are absolutely wonderful. And there should be enough for a hat, maybe a small hat. They do have this polyester they have is also the reflective part. So you can see there are these sort of different color stripes going through, and that's reflective polyester, which basically means if it's dark and you have light hitting on it, you will have some sort of small reflection. That said, this should never replace any sort of reflex. But I'm entering this into the 1000 subscriber milestone giveaway. So that was just one more yarn teaser for you guys, with all the other notions, of course, that I'm going to be entering. So that was this week's yarn talk video. It was absolutely nice and wonderful to catch up with you guys. I will be back on Monday with another birthday haul video. I had a nice offer for my birthday back in January, and that haul is what I'm gonna show you guys on Monday. On Wednesday, I will be drawing the winner for my current running Valentine giveaway video. I will link to that also here at the end of this video. And then, of course, I'm back Friday with a new yarn talk video. And until then, I hope you stay healthy and happy crafting. Bye.